everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am ObliCon-Tero, and for today's video, I'm going to discuss the one of the extinguishments of an obligation. So this is the loss of the thing due. So take note that in this extinguishment of an obligation, there is a classification of thing. First is the determinate or the specific thing, and second is the indeterminate or the generic thing. So let us first discuss the effects of the loss of a determinate thing. So according to Article 1262, an obligation which consists in the delivery of a determinate thing shall be extinguished if it should be lost or destroyed without the fault of the debtor and before he has incurred in delay. So when is a thing considered lost? Always bear in mind that you cannot just pinpoint reasons on how and why that specific thing had lost, because you have to consider these following factors first. So first, it is understood that a thing is lost when it perishes. Then second, the thing goes out of commerce. Then the thing disappears in such a way that its existence is unknown and cannot be recovered. Then there is a presence of theft or robbery, and lastly, impossible because the thing to be delivered belongs to another. So when does an obligation to give may be extinguished by the loss of a thing? So first is the obligation is to give or is to deliver a specific or determinate thing. So just like for example, Pedro obliged himself to deliver a Toyota car with a plate number of BBC 1232 Juan on December 9, 2019. But before the specified period, the car was struck by the lightning and was totally damaged. In this case, Pedro is not liable for the destruction of the car. Hence, his obligation to deliver is extinguished. Why? Because the thing that he was about to deliver is a determinate thing. He cannot just substitute the car of the same class without the consent or without the permission of Juan, the creditor. Second, the loss of the thing occurs without the fault of the debtor. So just like from the example that I just recently cited, the obligation to deliver is extinguished because the total damage of the car was due to the fortuitous event and not by the debtor's fault or negligence. Then lastly, the debtor is not guilty of delay. So since we're done discussing the effects of the loss of a determinate thing, we will now proceed to the effects of the loss of a generic thing. So according to Article 1263, in an obligation to deliver a generic thing, the loss or destruction of anything of the same kind does not extinguish the obligation. So from the aforementioned article, it clearly implies that the debtor is liable for the loss or destruction of a generic thing, even if it is caused by a fortuitous event, because it is based on the principle of genus non quamperit, which states that a generic thing never perishes. Just like, for example, Pedro obliged himself to deliver a Toyota car to Juan on December 9, 2019. But before the specified period, the Toyota car was struck by the lightning and was totally damaged. In this case, Pedro is liable for the destruction of the car. Hence, his obligation to deliver is not extinguished. Why? Because the thing that Pedro was about to deliver was a generic thing, and he can still be compelled to deliver a thing of the same kind. He can still deliver a car as long as it is Toyota, but Juan, as a creditor, cannot demand a thing of superior quality. Neither Pedro, as debtor, cannot deliver a thing of inferior quality, because according to Article 1246, in an obligation which consists in the delivery of an indeterminate or a generic thing whose quality and circumstances have not been stated, the creditor cannot demand to deliver a thing of superior quality. Neither the debtor cannot deliver a thing of inferior quality.